Live.
I like that. Do that. Did you start it, Gavin?
Yep.
Live.
Go ahead, Big Fatty. Give us the live introduction.
Live from Maple
Shade.
Shade. I knew it wasn't shore, but I knew it was something. Live from Maple Shore, New Jersey, home of Gavin and Jim. It's Sticking with a Poke. And now, here to fuck up the date, it's Gavin. Okay.
Hey, Gavin, play the music.
Hi, AJ.
Hi.
Hey, Jay. Hi. This is madness.
Hey.
Mommy and Daddy are yelling again.
What's an Eiffel Tower, stupid?
Playing with my kids.
Oh, fuck your opening.
Who's Bunghole Bunny?
Who's Bunghole Bunny?
Not to really have some kind of dialogue about what's going on.
Whatever shall we talk about?
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to Pokin It podcast for November 3rd. Can you believe it's November already? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
How the hell did that happen?
I know.
And it's the last Stick It with a Poke for daylight saving time.
Yes.
You are correct.
Right. You want to know something? This standard time isn't coming fast enough. I woke up nice and early this morning. I had chicken to cook because I wanted to get it in the crock pot. I wanted to barbecue some chicken outside, then put it in the crock pot to make some pulled chicken. And I had to wait till 8 o'clock till the sun was up.
Yep.
That was fucking crazy. I mean, wasn't it?
That's
I
it.
swear, I thought it was like 5 o'clock in the morning forever.
I finally got to the point I was like, I'm going back to bed and taking a nap.
Yeah. It took too long.
Who's Bunghole Bunny? I miss Not. Why is it not with us anymore?
I don't know.
He graduated.
The old man.
Tara, if you're listening to this, let Not come play with us.
Oh.
He's an old married dude.
Oh.
No, not my little Not. I miss Not and I miss Hat M.
Oh, I know.
And I miss. Well, first of all, if we're going to talk about missing things, Gavin,
Yes.
tell us about what's missing on you.
Oh, my hair. I got
Yes.
my hairs did.
Now, Jim, what do you think of this?
Well, look at
Oh
you.
my God, I am so. He looks so much nicer. I'm not afraid to take him out in public.
He says I don't look. He says it makes me look younger, which I think it's just a ploy to get me to keep
No, you
short.
don't. Okay, you don't look like a sloppy hippie.
Yeah. Well, I
right.
just to the point where I was just tired of it. It was too much work, and it never looked right. And I rarely ever wore it not in a ponytail. I was like, well, then why the fuck do I even have it? So I gave it up.
Can I say something?
What?
Yes.
You got a nice haircut. How many days ago now did you get it? That was about a week ago, right?
It was a week Friday.
A week ago Friday. 8 days. 9 days. All right. You still haven't combed your hair though.
What do you mean?
No, but
every day.
It looks good. It really does. I mean,
I'm a mess right now because I napped.
I mean, you know what? You have no idea how horrible you looked in like waking up in the morning.
Oh my! Yes, I did. I absolutely did.
I mean,
did he not have a mirror?
Oh my God! My hair was all.
He could see.
No, but I mean, he's a moody bitch to begin with.
Oh please!
But on top, but to have some fucking fumami looking bitch with hair all over the place yell at you is one thing. To have a decent looking guy, be miserable is another. Like
Jim is wonderful at reflective criticism.
Jim, your hair looks awfully nice tonight too.
You just got it done a couple hours ago.
Thank you. I found a new barber today, and I think I'll keep it. It's a shame he doesn't speak
Are
English.
you fucking him?
No, he might be doing me later. He's Dominican. They're known for being really large. He doesn't speak.
Wait a minute. Say that again.
Dominican?
He's
Dominican. Okay, I'm sorry.
From the Dominican Republic. He's not a Dominican.
Yes.
He's not a religious Dominican.
Okay.
From the Dominican Republic. They're known for being large, like really freakishly huge. It's like getting fucked by a hoagie.
Oh, well, there's your title there, Gavin. It's like being fucked by a hoagie.
Word.
By the way, Bill in St. Louis is Bill in Florida tonight.
Because he's going to rub it in our faces.
Right.
Bitch.
So, hi, Bill.
Hi, Bill.
I want you to know that my parents were complaining because it's 80. I called my dad today. He's complaining because it's 85 degrees. He had to get his coat.
He had to get his coat? Oh, my God.
It's getting a chill.
Maybe
they have no humidity there. So when the sun goes down, it's like within 10 minutes, it's like being Arctic. You know what I mean?
Oh, I need where's my camisole?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I got pneumonia in the middle of summer.
Of course he did.
84 years old. That's how it goes.
Well, hi, Mr. Mike. I think in honor of Gavin getting his long hair cut off, that our porn theme tonight should be long hair.
Oh, great. Thanks.
Long pubes.
All the pictures of how Gavin didn't look with long hair.
Right.
Oh my God. Yeah.
What?
You really, I have to say, I don't even recognize you from the back.
It was funny because the owner of the company, he comes by my desk every day. Sometimes he says hi. Sometimes he come over scared the crap out of me because, like, I got my headphones on. I don't hear anything that's going on.
Right.
He comes over and he's standing there staring at my head. He's very old fashioned. Like the women still wear dresses in the office, so like just one of those people,
right?
And he just comes over and goes, "Oh my God, your hair looks so good like that." Oh, for 10 minutes he's standing there going, "I'm like, dude, really? Like, you never saw a guy would get a haircut before?" But it was nice of him to stop by.
Well, that's nice. Hi, Vivi. Oh, and I guess we should say hi to Blind Guy Jay. Blind Guy Jay, I'm sorry, you can't see how nice Gavin looks. Of course, you couldn't see how horrible. I mean, how different Gavin looked with long hair. No, because I like long hair.
There, Gavin, is that like your ponytail?
What?
I posted a picture in the room.
I'm trying to save these pictures, and I can't seem to be able.
No, that's Vera.
How long has it been, Gavin, since you've had short hair? Because I think for as long as I've known you, at least, you've had long hair. So
you've only had this one for like about a year and a half, maybe.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to. For some reason, not letting me save the pictures.
Do you want me to save them to a file, and then you can post them later?
Yeah. It's just weird that it's not letting me do it.
Of course. Yeah, I said I would step up and try to.
Okay, Gavin, you posted a picture, I guess, on the Face Space or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Did everybody see it? Maybe you could.
Post my hair. My hair. Yes.
So.
I'm gonna have to find it now.
Okay, new folder number 2.
Y'all, it was so cute. Craig of Bill in St. Louis and Craig in St. Louis had the birthday, and Bill was trying to be so sneaky to get me to wish Craig a happy birthday, and Craig was on to him so quick. You know, he's like, yeah.
Bill's not sneaky.
So, and poor Bill, he says, I want you to, he called in and says, I want you to wish Craig a happy birthday on Thursday the 24th. And I look at the calendar and the 24th is not Thursday. And he says, and then he wrote me back, I mean, Tuesday the 24th. And Tuesday wasn't the 24th either.
Nope.
So I said, all right, well, is it the 24th or is it Tuesday?
It's the 24th.
Yeah, so,
Gavin,
Yeah.
I'm saving the pictures to a folder. All right.
Okay. It just started letting me do it again.
all right.
You want me to do it, or do you want to do it?
No, you go ahead.
Well, Bill says he cannot work a calendar, which means he does not have a career as a Supreme Court justice. So anyway, speaking of that, has everyone pre-voted? I know you haven't,
Yes.
Gavin, because there was
No, we don't have
this
early voting.
early voting.
I think you have to work it out with them. You have to go there and do it. I don't
No,
think
what
you
you-
can
what you
mail in the ballot.
What you posted is to get a mail-in ballot. That's every state.
The second, right below it was early voting.
No, that's what it was. Where you have to,
Yeah, you have to. Yeah,
or you can do it right there. You know.
Mm-hmm. The mail-in ballots, because that's how I vote. You can generally either mail them back in or deliver them to
Right.
any of the voting drop box locations, which are generally the polls. Luckily, like here in California, those are open really early because they do early voting, and so the polling places open. I think they were open starting like Wednesday or Thursday in some places.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then most of them open sometime. I think I'm thinking it's tomorrow or Monday, where they're open, regular hours all day for the early voting.
Oh.
They just want to make sure people get out and vote. I think.
yes.
Give them lots of chances.
Okay.
Ooh, Mr. Mike is doing a good job finding some long-haired deliciousness.
Delicious.
Yeah, that I think it takes us a total of what 10-15 minutes to vote.
And most of that is walking across the street, right?
Exactly right. Literally across the street. I mean, I could throw a rock at it from my front porch.
Well done. Don't do that.
Don't do that, Gavin.
Not by a border.
Maybe you should hand out Jello after they vote.
There you go.
There you go. Some of your famous Jello shots.
Well, the local Democrats love me because I let them put signs on my thing, and I'm like just at the edge of the 100 feet from a polling station. So
Right.
when they put on my lawn, they put
Draw 'em in.
signs. And when the Republicans come around, I'm like, no, sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I can't help that. Help you.
I'm so
They'll
sorry.
take a good shot if you throw a rock.
I know. I'm still trying to find a picture of me.
Oh,
Your hair?
Way too much shit on Facebook.
oh,
We're not that concerned.
I know. I spend too much time sitting here with a
Oh.
You look at your
oh, Mr. Mike, that's a lovely one. Oof. It's
So
a
what is-
hairy butt.
Oh, okay. A nice hairy butt.
Mhm.
yeah, it looks like he's So what's been happening, everybody? How was everybody's Halloween?
Oh, it was fun.
Ah,
We had fun here. We didn't get as many this year as last year,
Mhm.
I think. And last year was a solid amount, but not too many. And this year it just it seemed like we didn't get quite as many, but they were adorable. A lot of them pretty young,
Yeah.
which is cute because they're just they're having so much fun. And Martin was answering
they
the
don't
door
know
with,
what they're doing.
oh no, I mean, and their parents are with them, but Martin was answering the door with, "Good grief!"
I realized that I hadn't torn off my calendar yet.
Ready, you're not prepared.
Yeah, Martin was answering the door with the parrot on his shoulder.
Oh,
So
Was
a
he
lot of
parrot?
them would start looking at at the candy or grabbing candy, and then they go, "Oh my gosh, is that a parrot?"
Aw,
So,
it's a chicken.
yeah, the fuzzy little chicken one.
Aw.
it's a fuzzy
So-
chicken.
Yep.
Yeah, we didn't seem to have as many kids as in previous years, and the ones that we did get, they were all younger. Like we didn't have any of the older kids.
We had a couple.
We did have some, but not as many as in previous.
Not many as usual. Yeah. I heard a couple of states made it like nobody over 12 is allowed to trick or treat anymore. I think that's silly.
I think that was in certain states.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any rule like that here in California, but I don't know that I'd be paying any attention to it. I just made sure I added our house to the treat map on the next door app, and that's about all we do. We had decorate like a haunted house projected up on the side of the house that has bats flying around. Like above it, and we have a little jack-o'-lantern totem that's like 4 little jack-o'-lanterns high, I think, that glows, and then we put in an orange porch light. So not anything complicated, but it's it's cute and easy to
take
throw up.
I had both of my fog machines died.
Oh no,
that's a bummer.
Yeah. Well, one I only had a couple of years. The other one we've had since we've owned the house. So I mean, so next year I get brand new ones.
There you go.
Did they make it through part of the?
Oh yeah. They made it most of the night. They went
okay
till about 7, and then the one wasn't working great, but it was good enough. And the other one started making this buzzing noise. I thought it was empty, but it wasn't. Stop spewing. So I was like, oh, it's fine.
Well, you've always got Jim to make noise and spew. So
yeah.
How about your little ghosts? Are you gonna take them down and repurpose them? For Christmas? Do you think?
I put them away for next year.
Oh, okay.
I just took the tablecloth off the top, fold it up, put it away, and then the cage part I just put away in the with the rest of the decorations.
Oh, did
nice.
You? Okay.
Yeah.
Are those my tomato cages?
Yeah, you don't use it.
No, I don't actually.
Or if you need it.
When do you decorate for Christmas, Gavin?
Next week.
Jim would like to do it today, but
probably we usually give it. I mean, the last 2 or 3 years, like we've done it early, so everything's ready by Thanksgiving, so we're not stretched. You know what I mean? We're not killing ourselves in December.
Yeah, we're gonna have decent weather for a while too. So
we're what
in the 50s for a while, so we'll be all right.
Well, I want to get it done. I don't want to put it up when it's cold.
No, I don't. I would like to get it done at least like say by next weekend.
Okay.
So.
No, you don't want to be racing around in the snow trying to do this.
Yeah. Well, the way we did it last year, we did more decorating on the sunroom side here, and with like the icicle lights and stuff like that. And then on the front, we just put up the blow up stuff, which we got rid of one of them or 2 of them last year.
Right.
So we got to go buy new ones.
We bought new ones at the end of the.
That was in the year before.
Right.
Anyway, but we just put up blow up ones and laser lights on the front of the house. So
now when you put the stuff up, do you start turning it on or you just put it in place?
Put it in place.
Oh God, no! Okay. I'm turning it on. If I'm putting it up, I'm turning it on. No.
Okay.
Usually by the week of Thanksgiving, we might start turning them on.
Yeah, well, we have the turkey out there. We have a turkey. It's about 5 foot.
Yeah, we got a decent sized turkey that's
like
cool
and 5 foot wide. It's just like a turkey sitting on the front lawn.
Yeah,
blow up things. So that's out there now. I put that out right after I took that off.
Yeah, his eye. I took a picture of him. I want you to take a look at his eyes.
Has he got a lazy eye?
Eyes seem to follow you around.
Or are they just creepy? Yeah.
Yeah, they're creepy like that. Like you're on one side of the yard and it's like he's looking at me. You go on the other side of the yard, and it's like his eyes are following me, man.
But maybe it's just the creepy turkey. Okay.
You need a big blow up harvest cornucopia type
Did you post a picture of that?
corn and
Yeah, I did put it. I posted a picture on maybe it was Pinterest of the turkey.
Oh well, I'm glad you posted it on Pinterest so nobody can.
Not Pinterest, the other one, Instagram.
Oh well, that's even better.
whatever those platforms are.
Yeah,
Right.
You know, big fatties on all of them. So
Oh, you know me.
probably out there spending all his time
know
following
me.
you. Yeah.
So
haven't-
is it? Go ahead.
I was gonna say I haven't signed into Twitter in like a year. I think.
What? Oh my God!
So,
What?
I know. So I think I need to go in and delete my account.
No, just go back. Did you forget your password?
No, I mean I could get in if I wanted. I just have no desire to.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
You're not missing much. You know.
I know. Every time I logged in there for a while, it was like, why am I here? What am I doing? Why do I care?
Yeah, like
And I just one day it like I don't remember. I updated to a different version of the operating system or something, and it asked me to log back in, and I'm like, it's too much work.
yeah.
I don't care enough.
I don't care.
I've just got to enter a password, but you know.
Oh, you got it.
Well, we are going out night to a homosexual friendly bar tonight.
Oh my God.
I noticed you said
We're not-
friendly, so it's
Does that
not a
mean
gay bar specifically, but
Well, it's a bar that you can still smoke in the bar.
this is the one you went to before that you
We went to it once before,
it's homosexual?
but now that John and Big Dick have moved to Fort Lauderdale, we decided we would go back and try it again.
okay.
Have you heard from them?
I haven't,
Okay.
but anyway,
Posting on Facebook.
But
oh, they have. Okay.
homosexual friendly bar. Does that mean it's just friendly homosexuals?
Well, there were. It's mainly just people smoking and drinking, but the drinks are cheap and oh, those are creepy eyes. The last time we were there were two guys that were kind of
friendly homosexual.
rednecky. This is my cousin. I'm gonna fuck him later.
What's up, y'all?
So anyway, I
so
don't
that's
know.
what you're going back for?
Oh, we're going back to watch them fuck tonight, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Nice. Rednecky.
Watch.
So,
We what's up, y'all?
hey y'all.
Yeah, they're not
But,
West Virginia. They're not West-
Anyway, well, we haven't heard from Jay. We haven't heard about your trip to New York.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It was fun. It rained the day Martin was flying out, so we were a little concerned because the weather prediction was for clear weather the day after and then rain again. Hit on our second day, and we only had 2 days to spend in the city. But it ended up being gorgeous weather both days.
Okay.
And we spent the days just out, kind of no agenda. We didn't book anything. We just went out, and when we got there, we would go, hey, what about this? And we went and saw the Empire State Building. We ate what do you call it? Food, from a vendor right along Broadway.
but that was
Apparently, the New York hot dogs are known for being some of the world's best hot dogs.
What?
And
Can you confirm that?
Well, Martin thought so. The
But
water,
you didn't.
I didn't. but apparently it's because they don't change the water that they cook them in. But it's one of those known like things. And Martin was like, "Oh my God, this is an amazing hot dog! Like it tastes so good." What's that?
I have to ask you, Jay, how did it smell?
Oh, it smelled fine. I mean, it smelled good. And I had a soft pretzel. Oh, New York?
Yeah.
Better than New Orleans.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was looking for.
It had just rained. And so I think it was any smell might have been washed away. Because it rained heavy the day before.
Nothing better than wet rat smell.
Right. I noticed a lot more more cigarette smoke outside.
Yeah.
In New York. So I don't know if, smoking is just more prevalent, or they don't, like here in California, you're not supposed to smoke within 50 feet of a door to an entrance to a building.
Yeah.
So like when you're walking along the road and there's just entrance after entrance, people can't smoke out there. So
I know New York banned smoking in all the public parks.
Really?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like Washington Square and those places.
Huh.
Supposedly they're thinking about banning smoking pretty much anywhere except for in your own home.
Oh.
So so I've heard. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to back that up?
I've heard of places doing that. It's just it seems so awkward to try to enforce, or it seems like people would just, I mean, it's an addictive habit, and not being able to step outside and smoke during the day, like on breaks at work or something, I would think would be something that people would really have a hard time with.
Thing is,
just going to have to go back to needles.
The thing is, squeaky wheels get the oil, and you get the the little yuppies that walk around whining about everybody. You're in New York. I can guarantee you that you breathe in worse things than cigarette smoke.
Oh, I'm sure. But we went up the Empire State Building, and Martin got some really cool pictures from the observation deck that you can go outside.
Oh, is that where I saw them? All right.
And we had pictures from a place called Battery Park, which is
the
shore. Yeah, the shoreline that's right there. And he got some other good pictures of the Statue of Liberty.
Okay. Did you guys go over to the Statue of Liberty or get on the Staten Island?
We didn't. And the Staten Island Ferry, we were talking to people there in Battery Park, and they were like, the pictures you can get from here are just as good. They said the Staten Island Ferry goes out there, but it doesn't get much closer than you are now. And because you're taking pictures from behind that plexiglass plastic, they said it's really hard to get decent pictures. So they said we wouldn't waste our time.
No, there's decks. Like you can go if you're on the first level of the ferry, you can go up one. There's an outside deck, and then on either end of the boat, there's an outside deck. Unless you're familiar with it, you probably wouldn't know.
Oh, okay. No, we didn't know that, but
because once you go to Staten Island, there's nothing there but a park and homes. It's not much,
right.
But...
Yeah, we had heard just to go out on it and come back, that there was no need to see anything out there, but just take it for the ride out by the Statue of Liberty. But it was nice. We ate at a restaurant, seafood place that was right there in Battery Park, and Martin got this squid ink spaghetti that was I think they color the spaghetti with squid ink, so it's black.
Yeah.
Yep. And it had a cream sauce, and it was a bunch of squid, oyster, clam, and mussels.
Ooh.
That he loved, and he got lobster mac and cheese, which I tasted a little of, and that was pretty good. And then I had a General Tso's cauliflower, so that was really tasty. Yeah. And the best part was dessert. I ordered that appetizer, and then I ate dessert, which was deep fried pumpkin cheesecake.
Ooh.
With cranberry sauce and cinnamon ice cream.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Yeah. Talk about a amazing flavor combination and textures. The crunchy from the deep fried, and all the flavors were pretty subtle except for the cranberry, which was pretty tart, but it was amazing. So that was fun. And then we saw Grand Central Station, Times Square. What else? We went to a deli that made their own bagels and had really good bagels. And then got our favorite pizza at an Italian pizza place, and they made a real thin crust pizza that we liked.
Did you go to Junior's Cheesecake?
No. Is that
so good?
Okay. Is that the one that Daniel sent you the cheesecake from?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I remember that.
Junior's Cheesecake is delicious. You can order it online.
Yeah, apparently, since you were being sent one.
Since I was sent one. So
how do they show up in okay shape?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well.
Wow.
Who knows?
It's delicious.
Sandwich place where the corned beef is.
The Carnegie Deli.
That's.
It was fascinating because I went there thinking food would be expensive, but I didn't find it to be any different than where we're from here, and it was pretty reasonable. But I also, the pizza that we got there, I kept thinking the pizza on the West Coast can't be as good. And you know what? We have great pizza out here apparently, because we tried 3 different pizzas. And I've gotten as good, if not better, pizza out here in California than any of the 3 we tried.
That's because everything's kind of homogenized now.
I agree.
You can get, you've got New York folks living in California and stuff like that. Too, so.
The best New York style pizza I've had was from a little pizza place in Chico when I lived up there. And so I think a pair of brothers started a little pizza place, and they were from New York, and they started a New York style pizza place, and it was amazing pizza. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Where did you stay in the city?
We didn't stay in the city. I stayed at Helen Keller National Center, and Martin just came out and stayed with me there. They let me book 3 extra nights. So I was at their national training center, and they train people who are deaf and blind, and have some amazing instructors. But they have a dorm, and that's where I stayed because I went out there for work to observe a class, and I went through a week class with some folks, and just really enjoyed that. And then Martin came out, and we were able to just stay because it was about half the price of what I would have paid to stay in the city. And it was pretty cheap to get in on, it only was $6 to ride the train in.
Okay. Where was that? The Helen Keller National Center?
It's in Sands Point, which is a little village up in the Long Island area.
Okay, out on the island.
Not out on the island, but on the shore, but it's up that direction, I guess, because a lot of folks around there called some of the outer villages, as they call them. They call them Long Island area.
Jim's just trying to. Over on the island, yeah,
right.
Jim's, it's on the island, yeah.
Well, there's these little.
You're on the island, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were saying?
Who, me?
Jay.
Gavin? Oh, I was waiting for Gavin.
I said it. I said Jim was born in Brooklyn, so he's got a little more.
No.
Really?
Right under the Brooklyn Bridge.
We're in the back of a bus or something.
No, actually, my mother was out on the island, and she went into labor. I was born in Bayshore, out further.
Oh, okay.
No,
that was one of the stops I saw listed for the Long Island Railroad in their little app.
Okay.
But I don't think I took that line that went out that direction. But we rode the Long Island Railroad from Port Washington into Penn Station each day.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was fun. So anyway, it was a fun trip, and to think it's pretty cool to stand out there on the shore of the water and go, hey, you know what? I'm like on the opposite side of the country, of where I
The
live.
ocean's on the wrong side.
Yeah. But I don't know, it's just kind of neat to think, a little plane trip, and here I am on the other side of the country. So
it's like the sun's coming up in the wrong
in the wrong direction. Yeah. But it was beautiful weather. It was cold at night, but I wore a jacket and I had a beanie that I wore most of the time. I did lose it coming out of the light rail the first morning. I checked my pockets when we got up and left the train, and I was like, okay, my beanie's in my pocket, and when you're down in the station, it's warm down there. So I'm like, okay, there's my beanie. I'll put it on when I get outside. And we went up the stairs and stopped on the street for me to put in directions to where we were going to go. And I reached into my pocket and went, where'd my beanie go? So unfortunately I had to drop out, but we managed to find another one at Old Navy on Times Square.
Oh, okay.
So I visited the Old Navy store on
now
while we were
when
there
you
at
say
Times Square.
beanie, I think of the little skull cap with the propeller on it.
Right. That's a fez.
Close.
No, Martin did threaten to get me one had the little ball on the top, and I said absolutely not. And he's like, no, that was the threat. Like, I don't want you to wear one of those either.
Now, did you do anything homosexual while you were in the city?
I mean, I blew Martin, but that's
well. Okay.
I don't know that's
okay. Well, that's good.
What you're talking about.
Well, I mean, did you go?
No, we didn't go to a bar or anything.
Okay. Right.
We went to a little Irish pub that was cool and got a drink. It was like 3:00 in the afternoon or something, and we'd been walking around all day. And I went, you know what? I want to find a little pub and like stop and have a beer. So we did, and that was pretty cool.
Oh,
okay.
But yeah, no gay bars or anything. We tried to get back and actually get some sleep. The trip home was the worst part. We showed up at the airport. We were nice and early because everybody said, it could take 45 minutes to 2 hours to get there. It just totally depends on traffic in the morning.
Right.
So we left early, and of course it took 45 minutes. So we're at the airport really early, and we hung out there, and then our flight was delayed for 4.5 hours.
Oh, no.
And it was the worst kind of delay where they keep you close and are like, just a few more minutes, folks. We're hoping. And then finally it was, we're going to fly in another plane, but they're close. Should be about 40 minutes. Don't go away, because as soon as it gets here, we're going to want you to board as quickly as possible. So they just kept updating, and it was like, oh, good grief. And then we stood in line twice to get our connecting flight changed.
Right.
Because the first delay, we're going to miss our connection in Colorado. And then, the time kept getting pushed back, and it was like, oh, we better go get in line again because we're going to miss our connection now. So we got rebooked again. And, it's just it's so boring and awful to just stand there waiting. But we finally got out of there and got home about 4 hours later than we had hoped. So we were pretty tired, but it was an awesome trip though.
That's good.
Just, flights can be so annoying.
Oh, I know. Believe me.
Speaking of flights, have you booked your flight, Gavin and Jim, for leather weather?
I don't think we're going.
What?
Yes.
Well,
it's a long story. I don't want to get into it here, but like my father is not doing great, so I just want to leave.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll Gavin may not be going. I'm not sure.
You can go.
Okay.
You're thinking about it.
I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I had said that I'd rather go to the Parliament more for the Parliament than go for Fist Fest sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, Fist Fest is you get to see a different group of folks when you go to a non-Fist Fest event.
Yeah, and I enjoy myself.
Yeah. Oh, you don't enjoy yourself at Fist Fest?
Oh, I do, but it's
Different kind of enjoyment.
different kind of enjoyment.
Right.
Yeah.
I enjoy the talking and just the fun, the crazy,
The socializing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm still
right.
here too because I'm kind of short on vacation this year. So,
well, one of what was hilarious is one of the people that works for Helen Keller that helped coordinate the group of people getting out to their training center. He lives in Augusta, Georgia.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he goes to Fist Fest.
No, but here's the funny part. He lives in Augusta. And so we were talking. We went out to hang out at a pub and have a couple of beers on Friday night after everybody had, after the classes were all done and everything. And everybody was going to be heading out the next day. So he's like, Jay, let's go grab a bite to eat and a beer. And so we started talking, and he was telling me about his jobs and where they had lived. And he said Augusta, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I was kind of like thinking, like, do I say something about, oh, I've been there, and then have to explain where I'd been. And he said something, and he's like, oh, you should come visit my wife and I. And he's like, there's this great gay resort there. And I'm like, yeah, I've been there. And he's like, oh, that's awesome, but the Parliament's a great place. Like, I've been out there. And I went, what? And he said, yeah, when he
I go and get my dick sucked every Thursday.
Right. He said when he was working for the military, he was on part of their LGBT like panel, or like a diversity panel, and his son is gay. So he like has a heart for, staying involved in causes and trying to advocate or whatever. And he and his wife are great folks. And he's like, oh yeah, I went out and visited there, to let them know who I was and whatever. And who knows what else. Right. But it was totally fun. He's like, oh my gosh, you should come stay with my wife and I. He's like, you guys could even spend a couple of nights out at the Parliament and enjoy yourselves. And, yeah.
We even built a glory hole in the house for when we have folks over.
Right. No, just small world. It's so funny. And then for somebody totally random, to say, oh yeah, I know about the Parliament. So because he was talking about the Capri and the Edge, and
oh wow,
I'm like, oh yeah, I love the Capri, great drinks. And he's like, oh yeah, he's like, their drink special. Great. Gotta love him. What a great guy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Small world indeed.
Yeah.
So, well, Gavin, when you got your haircut, was it like Samson giving was it like Samson getting his haircut? Did you lose all of your
powers?
No, all my superpowers are intact.
Okay.
Every one I had before, I have now.
Okay. So, were you able to play the piano after you got your haircut?
No.
Okay.
Good. Nothing changed.
All right.
Exactly.
So, all right.
Let's do birthdays real quick.
Oh, yes, we've got important birthdays this week. We got a lot of them. There must be a lot of fucking that goes on in, what is this? February.
Once a year we celebrate with stupid hats and plastic plates. The fact that you were able to make another trip around the sun. And gathers round and gifts and laughter do abound. We let out a joyful sound and sing that stupid song. Happy birthday, now you're 1 year older. Happy birthday, your life still isn't over.
Hey, I have nothing for today. Do you have anything for today?
Nothing.
Okay. Tomorrow, like today, tomorrow is Han Cub's birthday.
Yay, Han Cub!
Yay. Happy birthday.
We got a couple of them next week. Okay. Okay. Han Cub and Jeremy.
Oh yeah.
From It's All About Me.
About Me.
Oh.
Yeah.
And also Ramble Redhead's birthday.
Yes.
Aww.
Also daylight saving time.
Thank you.
Ends.
Happy birthday.
Or ends or begins.
ends.
Ends, right?
We return to standard time.
Bring a headphone. Okay, on Monday, it's Miss Kitty.
It is Miss Kitty.
That's all I have for Monday. What do you got?
Uh-huh.
That's it.
That's it.
I got nothing for Tuesday.
Nothing.
Okay, on Wednesday, I have Romo and Alan's anniversary.
That's correct.
And I have
Happy anniversary.
Mr. Mike's birthday.
Mr. Mike. Hey, Mr. Mike.
I almost said his last name.
We should have let
fan.
Mr. Mike. We should have let Mr. Mike pick the porn theme tonight.
Oh,
Although he's done a great job with the long hair. And that's nothing else on Wednesday. Absolutely nothing else.
nothing at all. No.
Nothing at all. Nothing else. Okay.
Nope. That just goes right. But it's
that's it. I don't see anything else there on Wednesday.
Jim's birthday. How old?
Oh, Jim.
How old you gonna be, Jim?
53, right?
Yep. I was giving you the option of going lower, but
hold on. Let me get out a spreadsheet here.
He's 29 again this year.
And then on the 8th, which is Thursday, I have Loverman's birthday, which would be Archer's.
No, that's Guru Nudies.
Oh, that's
okay.
Loverman is Guru Nudies' husband.
That's right. And I should know that because on Friday is Guru Nudies' birthday.
That's correct.
Oh, okay.
Also,
happy birthday.
Stephen in Wisconsin.
Uh-huh.
Which went to him.
He just kind of, I guess he went back to Wisconsin. I don't know.
And it's also Ouija's birthday.
It is.
Oh, Ouija. Yes. Happy birthday.
And that's what I got for next week. You got anything?
Okay, well, I have two other ones.
Which are?
On Friday, also, Nick in Paris. I think, did he do a show at one time?
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who it is either, but everybody always talks about Nick in Paris.
Okay.
And on Thursday is Randy in Penis, Slovenia. That's his birthday.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, he and his homosexual lover love to go on the Atlantis cruises like Big Fatty. Jim, speaking of your Dominican barber, Mr. Mike just posted a picture of him.
Nice.
That's how you'd like to see your barber.
Well, it's about what about a 2-foot dick?
Yeah, it's about
strap on.
Strap on, really? Yeah, I guess so because it's so dark. But
your pantyhose.
Oh yeah, I see pantyhose. That's true. But that's what Jim wishes his Dominican bar. That's when while Jim was getting his haircut today, he was thinking, "Oh, you're my Dominican barber, and you've got a dick just like that."
He was walking a little funny when he got home.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, there's evidently Bill in St. Louis says we're getting close to Valentine's fucking. So anyway,
now I have to tell you all about my dream because I promised I would.
Oh my God! Yes, you have got to.
We can't wait.
No, he put out a tweet about this. And what did your tweet say, Gavin?
Can we read your tweet, Gavin?
Yeah, read the tweet. This is how he broke the news to everybody on social media.
To his.
Where's? Oh, okay.
It says, "Time for trying to vote."
No.
Just had a weird sex dream that involved one guy I follow on Facebook.
But have
never met. Another guy I knew 25 years ago, 2 midgets, and a cartoon pygmy from the 70s. I have to stop napping after coffee.
It was the dream was actually not fucked up as far as how like
no wait a minute
no as far as how sometimes you can like be in places that just aren't realistic. Like everything around me was totally realistic except for the people. Like, it was just I had an apartment in Philadelphia, and it was at the end of this long street, and it came to like a dead end. And this other person, who is the person I follow on Facebook, let me find a picture of him.
I'm looking for a picture of the pygmy.
I have it saved. Okay.
Oh.
Ooh.
Hold on. Anyway, the guy, I'm going to post a picture. It's the guy on the right. Okay. Apparently, he had an apartment up the road from me, and when I went to his house, I was invited to his house.
You know this guy?
No, I don't know him. I just follow him on Facebook.
Okay. Okay. That's the one you follow on Facebook.
Yeah, the one on the right.
So he's in your dream. All right, that's a good start.
The guy
he's right. Hot, Jay.
Yeah, he is very hot.
I'm guessing, yeah.
Anyway, so I went to his house, and he had a bunch of people were there, and everybody was naked, and there was one guy I knew from when I lived in New Hope, which was like 25 or so years ago, and I know the guy, and I know he has a really nice dick, but apparently. And then I looked down at his feet, and there were these two midgets that came up to about his knee.
Wow.
And he's about my height, so it's not like he's like really tall. And a pygmy that came up to about his ankle. And I have to find a picture of the pygmy.
As odd as not one but two midgets are, a pygmy. I mean, who?
Let alone a cartoon pygmy.
A cartoon pygmy.
How does that fit in? Like, was the?
I don't. Well, I mean, nothing really happened. Hold on. Copy image address.
Well, clearly the cartoon pygmy has to be the show art today.
But that was, I didn't want to post it on Facebook because it's so racist. So that was.
Don't need to get flagged.
No, that's not kind of racist. He has a bone in his hair.
But I just. It was the weirdest fucking thing. Now, like, I didn't engage with, because the thing is, I walked in, and at first I looked and I said, "Why is there a child here?" And they're looking at me like I'm crazy. I said, "No, that's an actual child." And I got down and got real close, and it was this pygmy. I don't know why that even came into my mind.
Okay, so here's the question: how was this all sexual?
Well, I wound up having sex with the guy from Facebook and the other guy I knew from 25 years ago. I didn't have sex.
Okay, but the pygmies were gone at that point.
We were just kind of over on the side naked.
I believe they're called little people.
but I mean, then the guy I knew from 25 years ago got up and left, and then I was interacting with the guy I know from Facebook. Well, I follow on Facebook. I don't want to say I follow him because I don't know him. And then I woke up.
Okay.
Just as it was getting good, I was reaching down just when it was getting good. So,
right.
So you didn't have sex with the midgets then?
No, I did not.
With the little people.
I know they were in the room and they were naked. Oh.
Okay, so they kind of fit in with the motif, but
yeah, and I will not be. I'm sorry to anybody listening to this later, but I will not be posting those pictures.
Okay. Now, Gavin, just out of curiosity, you said you were drinking coffee. What was in the coffee?
But it was like my third cup.
Oh.
Did the pygmy say anything like "oogity boogity"?
No.
How much whiskey did you put in Gavin's coffee, Jim?
maybe you should put something in the coffee.
When I drink coffee and then try and take a nap, I do dream.
Uh-huh.
They're never
Mhm.
that weird or that vivid.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, I could actually feel it. It's very rare at my age that I still wake up with a, and I did wake up with a boner. So
Oh,
Nice. That's a happy thing.
it's
Well.
nice that I still can.
Yeah. Something
now
to
how was
celebrate,
sex?
right?
How was sex with the hot guy from Facebook?
Oh, he kisses really good.
Oh, okay.
All the farther we got, I started reaching down, and then I woke up.
Oh,
That was disappointing. And he has a fuzzy chest.
he has a fuzzy butt.
A fuzzy chest. Well, I know he has a
Oh,
fuzzy.
nice.
So.
Okay.
Rabbit and red.
Yeah, that's.
I if you follow me on my regular Tumblr feed, which I'll get you in a minute.
Oh
Shit.
Oh shit.
Fascinating.
Fascinating.
Copy link address. Okay. This is my regular Tumblr feed. I
Uh-huh.
posted pictures of him.
It says, Mr. Mike wants to know, were you getting a contact high from Canada?
Oh, it says I have to be on Tumblr to see that. So
yeah. Well, we should post a couple more.
Rabbit and red. Na, 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 na.
What are you saying, Jim?
I'm singing. Rabbit and red.
Oh,
did y'all remember to say rabbit rabbit?
Yes, we did.
Yes, you saw it.
Punch for
I forgot.
No, which guy was it, Gavin? The left or the right?
The one with the beard. Wait a minute, they both have beards.
They both look
the one on the right. The one on the right in the first picture, and the one on the left in the second picture.
Right.
The one with the tattoo on the chest, and that they both have piercing. Never mind.
Right. The guy with the Superman tattoo on his left arm.
No, the other one.
Oh, the guy with the Superman tattoo on his right arm.
No.
Pretty much.
Oh, you know what I wanted to ask? I don't know if anybody here is going to know this, the answer to this question. I've noticed that, like, there's this thing with people getting numbers on their biceps. Like, these two guys have 82 on their bicep.
The year they were born.
Is that the year they were born? That's what I was thinking. Okay.
Yeah, because I've seen guys with their birth dates around their ears in Roman numerals. So it's like MCM, MCMII 2002. I was like, whoa.
Oh, okay. Because these guys have
these
guys have 82 on their arm, on the inside of their bicep, and then they have their boyfriend's last name under it, each other, So I was just curious what
crazy, no names.
No name, yeah. That's a sign of what is it? The death knell.
No, that just means cover up ink to follow.
Right. I like the birth year thing though. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, what I assume would be like the month in Roman numerals, the day in Roman numerals, and then the year, and like it's separated by a big dot, so it's the Roman numerals.
That's a lot of Roman numerals and a lot of things for people to try to work out if they see them. I'd be good with just numbers.
To me, looking at like a year in Roman numerals, it's a math equation. It's like
it is, yeah.
It's like one. Okay, there's 100 minus 1,000.
Right.
Now, five would be 1V, right?
5 would be V.
Uh-huh.
Oh, 5 would be V. That's right. 4 would be 1V.
IV.
4 IV. Uh-huh.
But 3 is III, right?
III.
That would just get complicated when it came to like 8.
Unless it's a nasty clock, then you can see 4 eyes, and that's rare.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I shouldn't say that. You do see 4 eyes on a clock.
Now, what is 10?
X.
X.
Okay. So mine would be XV.
Don't tell us.
I don't know.
V.
What would 60?
CMLX no LX 1960.
Yeah.
Yeah, MCMLX, right?
Okay.
1960.
That's just too much.
Yeah, too complicated for me.
Yeah, that
No, it would be
MCM
MCM and then 60
LX,
LX, right?
right? 50 and 10.
MCMLX.
Okay.
Good Lord.
That ain't that bad.
Knowing my luck, I'd get it wrong. And right.
It's 1983 would be what?
Excuse me?
1983.
Well, it would be something that you wouldn't have on your arm, is what that would be.
It would really long, wouldn't it?
It would be a mistake if that was on your arm.
I was going to say that's a lot easier to figure out than the actual number. It's like, wait, that's wrong.
That's correct. That would be. Y'all, by the way, and I'm just going to tease this. There's going to be an unbelievable I've got to run it through Granny tonight, which I know sounds terrible. No, but you don't need to run anything.
You shouldn't run anything through him.
Nothing
right? But
speaking of which,
we're not running it through Granny's butt. But if Granny gives me the okay, I have a major announcement about Granny on tomorrow's show.
Oh, okay.
On Monday's show.
Okay.
Oh,
That's all I got to say.
Okay. Well, that's
what they call a teaser.
A teaser, yes.
Uh-huh.
I figured out what Big Fatty is going to keep doing because I think I see your future in covering all these reality shows. You're doing 2 now, and you'll just keep adding them until you've got 5 a week. Then you'll be doing the same number of shows.
Well, does anybody even listen? I don't know. I'm just a pretty one.
I don't.
Okay.
I do.
I have something quick I want to add.
Okay.
I enjoy your shows, Big Fatty.
No, I listen to your Big Fatty shows, but not the
Survivor and Big Brother and all that.
Apparently, Far Away Nearby is doing their 50th episode, and they consider that a milestone of some sort. So they want people to call and just say something, I guess. Not too late. Get greetings to the 50th anniversary or 50th episode of the Far Away Nearby. The number is 720-230-6919. So if you want to give them a call and say congratulations for the Far Away Nearby podcast. So
cool.
Hi, Ed Gong. So glad you could. We hadn't fallen back yet, Ed Gong. You missed the show.
Oh, when do we change the clocks?
Tonight.
Ed, that's okay. Ed can join in now and add some porn to finish us out of the hour.
Right. Well, the hour's up because I'm leaving now. So.
Oh well, the show's done then. I mean.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Okay.
But okay, well, so Big Fatty, where can we find you before you go?
Well, you'll find me at Big Fatty Online with the major announcement regarding Granny on Monday's show.
So we only want to.
Major announcement will be he did not get his pants last night.
Right.
So.
Okay, Jay, where can we find you?
You can find me, J.R. Harris 2, on Facebook. And I do actually get on there maybe once a week. But unlike Twitter, I still do check Facebook occasionally.
Okay. Jim?
#1 Funky Homo on Twitter and Jim Am on Facebook.
And you can find all my applicable links at pokinit1.blogspot.com. So, and even though I did not do a show last week because we went to a Halloween party, I did post a porn of the week for Halloween. So,
oh,
how kind of you! You're so giving.
It's a cartoon.
I was going to say, who was Casper fucking?
Oh, pretty much. You got it pretty much close there.
Okay. Oh, and by the way, those of you who are normally used to getting the BFO at 12:30 in the morning, when it posts, remember the time changes, so it'll still be posting at 12:30 in the morning, but the time changes, so it's
on Sunday.
Well, no, on
Monday it'll be standard time.
Monday, but anyway, sometimes that fucks people up who don't, like in different countries that don't switch.
Yeah, like Ed Gong and people down under.
And the folks from down under in Australia.
Yes. Right.
Or Had M.
The crazy Mexican.
Mr. Z.
Hi, Had M.
I'm sure Had M is unsubscribed by now.
Oh, poor Had M. All right. Y'all have fun.
Have fun. Say hi to Granny for us.
I'll do it.
Goodbye,
Big Fatty. How do you hang it up? Okay, thank you for calling.
All right.
You guys talk for a minute. I'll be right back.
Okay. So is there still good porn going on in there?
No, not really. It slowed down. It's dry.
We hit our peak and then sort of
fell
off.
They all look like hippies with messed up hair to me. And I'm saving them. I'm saving them on the hard drive for Gavin.
So you're busy concentrating on the actual work of it. You can't appreciate the pictures.
No, you know what? All I'm doing is right clicking and save, and it's all going into the same folder. I have all the fucking hippies for him. He can do it. They're not bad looking. But
so if they've got long hair, and I'm sure you're seeing some lovely
penis
things.
Stuff. Yeah. The rest of them isn't bad. I can't
complain. I like a good, hairy chest or hairy belly. I don't know. There's all kinds of good things. You can enjoy them all.
Okay. There you go. So when were you in
New York?
Yeah.
I flew out Monday, the 22nd.
Okay.
I didn't talk at all actually about the reason I missed the 20th show when you were back is Martin and I went to a beer and wine festival with friends.
How was that?
And that was really fun. You bought your ticket ahead of time. I think it was like $60. And it, which is a little pricey, but you get a bracelet and you can drink as much as they can pour you. And you get a cup that's like an event glass, right? It's got the name of the event etched into it.
Right.
And in this case, I want to say it was probably a 10-ounce maybe cup, 8-ounce on this. I mean, I could be off somewhere in that range. And you just walk up and places would say, oh, we've got, 6 different things to offer here. Here's what they are. They were posted usually, and you could say what you wanted or tell them if you didn't know what their beers were, like I like bitter and hoppy, so I'd say what I liked, and they'd say, oh, you probably want to try this one. And we drank a lot of beer, ate a little bit of food, went back to our friend's house and hung out with them for a while. And then they were headed out to dinner with a bunch of the neighbors. They've got a neighborhood and they know quite a few folks. And I guess every week pretty much they either get together and like barbecue, or I guess once a month they go out to dinner. And so this was their dinner out night. And so we ended up going with them and just had a really nice dinner at a little, I don't know what it was, pub of some kind. But it was good. And that was really fun. And then I flew out early Monday for New York. And when you fly to the East Coast from here, it's all day, because by the time you get there, you've jumped forward 3 hours. So
Right.
I got in there, and I had left here at 6 o'clock, and so I think I landed there, and it was 4:30 in the afternoon.
Right.
Over there, and then it took a little over an hour to get to Helen Keller, and so I was checking in at about 6, I think, and ate my dinner, and I got set up and went to bed. And then the next morning we all met for breakfast at 7:30, and they kept us busy all day. Just, they had folks coming in and talking about orientation and mobility and communication, auditory assistive listening devices, different types of canes and cane tips, and
is there a lot of technology for
yeah, there is. I mean, and so much of it really depends on what the primary disability is, because there's obviously things that can help you if you're blind, and different things that can help you if you're deaf. And the challenging part is that, something that might help you if you're blind would be something that talks. But if it doesn't talk loud enough, and you happen to have a pretty significant hearing loss as well, a talking device might not be very helpful. So they do have some Braille devices. They do have some devices that'll talk really loud, or like some. Go ahead.
I didn't realize the diversity, like how diverse, especially people that are hearing impaired.
Mm-hmm.
You're blind. I mean, there's extremes of being blind, but the hearing impaired,
there's different levels.
I guess different reasons and different, like some are, the bones are not proper, or people lost their hearing for some other reason. So there's different, like, because I know they have, like, there's a guy that I knew in Philadelphia that had gotten this implant. It's a little disc that goes behind his ear, and it attaches magnetically. And what it does, it actually kind of creates the vibration that the bones in your ear would normally got it. And but it was something that couldn't be used on everybody.
Right.
And like, he kind of had to explain it to me, and I just found it incredibly interesting. I mean,
and there's so many different adaptations. Like, if they can get you any little bit of, your listening ability back, you might be able to use a combination of, like, a regular hearing aid, but if it has Bluetooth capability, you can connect it to your phone.
Right.
So you can then listen to your phone, but without the interference of turning your phone up really loud and trying to get the hearing aid to hear that and amplify it as well. So
I would imagine smartphones were just like such an incredible breakthrough for especially people that are hearing impaired.
Yeah, and there's a lot of built-in accessibility features in most of the operating systems that can really, help. So, like, you can use your iPhone as a listening device if you want to leave it sitting somewhere. If it's somewhere where you can trust that you can do this, you can leave it sitting there and use, like, an AirPod or other wireless device like your hearing aid for listening. So you could be sitting out in an auditorium with your iPhone up at a podium for a big college class or something.
Oh, okay.
And, so fairly, and those aren't like highly specialized devices, right? You could potentially do that with the hearing aid that you already have and your phone that you already have. So there's some really neat things like that are very practical that might help. And
I don't want to make you feel self-conscious, but sometimes, like, when you're on your phone, like, I'll stand over you and watch you, because it just amazes me your ability to
thumb that piece of
most of the time I have the screen off, so you might not even be able to tell what I'm doing.
I can't see what you're doing, but it's amazing that you know exactly. It seems like you know exactly where to put your hand, do different operations. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it just amazes me. So
I've got good muscle memory for like typing. I can text, and
I thought you were going through Grinder.
Right. not this time. At past Pride 48s, possibly, depending on
God.
where I was at. But now that Martin and I are together, I wasn't. More people is too complicated.
It's funny because I walked past you one time when we were in the ballroom, the radio room or whatever. And I noticed, I was like, oh, your phone's, like I saw your thumb going around the thing. And I was like, oh, your phone's off, sweetheart. And it was like, no, he knows what the hell he's doing.
Nope, phone was on. And because I put in one of the little AirPods, they're the wireless headphones.
In your ears, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times people, if they don't see that, they don't realize I'm listening to it. So
right.
Even though it appears that there's no picture and no sound coming from it, it's because I'm just listening to it with the wireless.
Those AirPods are funny because like at work, everybody's got them hanging out of their ear. They
work great. I love them.
I lose them because I'm clumsy like that, so that's why I've never gotten one. But like,
okay,
yeah.
Do you work on a computer at work?
Do what?
Do you work on a computer?
Oh yeah.
Do you
pretty much all the time? I've got a screen reader.
No, I know, but do you have like the screen, the monitor?
Yes, I have a screen because I also have somebody who assists me with like paperwork and stuff, and sometimes I need the person to help me. Where it comes up most often is trying to print things from Excel. Excel is a bitch. Like I can work in Excel, I can write formulas, I can get it to do amazing things, but trying to print what you want off of it is such a pain in the ass because it uses these little black lines and there's no
sound for them.
There's no accessible way to know where they're at and adjust them. So I have to have somebody visually pick those up and move them around. Or being able to tell, like, okay, is the shrink to fit option or scale to fit option going to work for this better in portrait or landscape, depending on how big the columns are. Like, I just, some of that stuff, it's like, man, it's not worth my time to play with it. It's easier just to tell somebody, hey, can you print this out and make it as few pages, but make it fit, so it's not like printing out 3 pages wide where you'd have to like tape it together to make sense of it,
I have the same
funny because I don't use Excel like for work or anything like that, but like I use it for all the like to keep track of all the house bills and stuff like that. And, like there was a time when Jim, I had no idea how to work this shit, and he explained it to me, and I still have to ask him questions every now and then, but I know what you mean about printing it because
it can be a fucking bitch, and there's all kinds of like margins and centering and stuff like that, and for some reason mine always defaults to a landscape, like my stuff defaults and stuff like that, and it's like I don't want it like that anymore. Change it. Where the fuck are the settings? I I'll be working on something and it's like finally I print it, I go over to the printer and it's like I need 6 I'm not taping 6 pieces of paper together.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, back to my debt, and I don't have a printer anymore. We used to have printers right in our own cubicles, and now we got rid of that. Now we all use the copiers.
Yeah, we're supposed to all use the centralized printers. We cannot print to our copiers, and I can't believe that because for so long where I used to work, that's where everybody's printer was. Nobody had their own printer. They all had to use the photocopier, and you had to put in a code for the program that you were billing, because all of our programs allowed us to direct bill. And some programs required a lot more printing. The program where we did accessibility evaluations required these really, really long reports with color pictures and all this stuff. And, you know, so it would cost far, far more to print out stuff for that program than for some of our other programs that were just some basic case management, and you rarely ever had to print anything.
A big fan. So disappointed that he missed the technology episode.
Oh, right. Yeah. But yeah, now at the state, like, we have to print to a centralized printer, and I happen to be lucky enough that I've got a printer still in my cubicle. But if anything goes wrong with it, I'm afraid they'd want me to just use the centralized one, and that's another hassle.
They may want you to print it to the centralized, because maybe they keep track of what everybody prints out, just in case.
I don't think they keep track of it. It's just less costly because there's one printer, and if anything goes wrong with it, they can replace it. And it's also a really high capacity one. So I think when they buy the toner cartridges for it, they can print out a ton more pages. And it's probably a lot lower cost.
You know what it costs for toner cartridges for like a desktop printer? They're ridiculous.
They're ridiculously expensive, and the capacity of them isn't nearly what the high capacity ones get. A lot more pages and very little extra cost, I think. So
I remember we did a scavenger hunt for the Bear Club in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided that I was going to do this really cool, like I did in Publisher. I did a really cool kind of, you know, almost like a what would you call it? Like a treasure map background and all this whole. I went to print them out. Well, I needed to print out, I think it was like, I don't know, what was it, 40 of them or something like that. I wound up having to go out and get another printer cartridge. Because it only
was it inkjet though? Because the inkjet printers go through ink ridiculously fast. I have a color printer here at home.
Crazy. So I wound up doing it all in black and white afterwards.
Okay.
Like no, we're not doing this.
Color toner is still a lot cheaper than ink, like color inkjet. So, but it's definitely expensive, and especially if you have you want your color laser ones to have separate color toner cartridges, because you don't want to have to replace it every time you run out of one color. If it's
it was also before I found out how much cheaper it is to order it online. So I had to like go to like CompUSA or something, and you know, this is back when they existed, and like actually $35 for a freaking printer cartridge. I was like crazy. So
fun. Yeah, this is such exciting podcasting. How's the porn going?
All right, they still look like hippies.
I
don't know. To be honest with you, they all look like the same guy.
You know what?
Maybe they're all finding the same images because there's only 3 guys that do pictures who have long hair.
With the curly hair, he's pretty. He's real pretty. But the third one up from the bottom.
Third one up from the bottom of the page, or from the guy who's taking it?
Yeah. But yeah,
I like the guy under the ceiling fan with all the tattoos.
See that one? I have to go back. Oh yeah, I saw. Yeah, definitely. Nice piece of meat on that too.
And what's up with the ceiling fan?
It's just there.
Oh, it's just there. And he obviously does not make his bed, but
and why would we care?
And he has pink sheets. I'm guessing he has.
Cool.
He's liberated, man. Nothing bothers him.
He's got a girlfriend.
He's got his either that or his mom made his bed.
Yeah.
Right.
Speaking of sheets, we could use new sheets for Christmas. We don't have Cookie to buy us stuff like that anymore. I used to buy like 3 or 4 sets of new sheets every year.
And you said they were from Cookie.
From Cookie, yeah.
Nice. That many new sets each year?
Like 2. We have 2 twin beds that are pushed together.
Oh, okay.
So like every time you change the sheets, it's sets. So
okay.
But
And does that work because you guys like different type mattresses better?
Well, we also used to go through them because you know dogs, they like to they get out of bed and they kind of like scratch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she would go right through the sheets.
Oh gosh.
I would come home from work and I'd see a big gouge down the middle of my sheet. You know, after they get a little old, they get soft, and she would just scratch the hell out of them. But so you know, it was like every year we had to buy like 4 new sets of sheets.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Now you don't have to do them quite as often.
Yeah. I don't think we bought them since she's been dead.
I think no.
Have you guys thought about getting another dog, or just right now are you enjoying not having that responsibility?
We thought about it, and we thought no.
You know what I would like? I would like to find somebody needs to start a startup company where they just lend you a dog for a weekend, so so you can remember why you don't want a dog. I have no problem with having a dog.
It would be like reason to not have a dog. Borrow our puppy.
I'm going to bring it down a minute because I have no problem with having another dog. I don't want to go through the heartbreak of it dying again. You know what I mean? Because even though I was like calm and cool in front of everybody, I fell out when I got home. When I got home, oh my God, it was horrible.
Yeah, we had her a long time.
Yeah, I know. And she was so good. That was the thing. You know, if she was a pain in the ass dog, it would have been a different story, but she was such a good dog.
It's still like losing a family member.
Yeah.
It's rough.
So like, I just don't want to go through that again. That's we don't have a dog, we don't have a cat. Like stray cats are great because they just disappear. You know, they just stop coming around, and you just assume they.
Oh yeah, how's the one doing, the feral cat that you guys invited in?
Oh, she's still around. Jim comes out of the bedroom. She's on one of the chairs
in the living room.
Oh my gosh! Okay,
looking out the window.
She's moved in.
Kind of, but I put her. She disappeared the other day. We let her in, and I was out here in the sunroom. Jim was in the bedroom. And I went out and I couldn't find her, and it was getting late. When it gets dark, I have to close the back door because we have raccoons and possums and shit coming around, and we don't want them wandering in the house. So I went to find her to let her out, and I went around. We have these bags of treats that we get from the dollar store, and when you shake them, she'll come running because she knows she's going to get a treat.
Right.
So I walked around the house with this thing, and she never came out. Nothing. So I went back. I thought, well, she probably went out because when she has to go to the bathroom, she'll go outside. So I went back and I closed the door. I come into the living room, and there she is. And there's no way to get in front of her. Like, she doesn't let you touch her, and she doesn't even really like that close to her. So she heads to the laundry room, and the sunglass door is at the end of the laundry room. So she's kind of trapped there, and she was not happy about it. So I went back real slow, and I said, calm down, calm down, calm down. She ran around me, and then I opened the door, and then she went out, but then she disappeared for a day. So
I think you're just mean to her or something, because she's very good to me. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, you're not the one that has to put her out.
No,
I'm the one that goes finds her and then chases her out the back door.
Stop being a dick.
No, I'm the dick.
Stop being a dick to the cat, man.
Right. But I mean, she's to the point where, like, when I'm filling her bowl outside, we feed her at night. When I'm filling her bowl, she'll come right up to the bowl and just sit there right in front of the bowl. Like I could literally reach out and pet her if I was that brave, but I'm not.
Yeah. Well, that one day, like after she was missing for a couple days, when she did come in, like, I know we were like, I was getting her food ready or something, and I was standing there, and she was rubbing up against me, and then next thing I know, she's on her hind legs, and she's, bouncing her head up against my hand, which is the closest thing to ever touching her.
Yeah,
like she wanted my attention.
She'll let you do it as long as it's on her terms.
On her terms,
right? It's like, okay, I can rub up against you, but don't try to pet me because that's you, like, reaching towards me or whatever.
If you reach for her, she'll like go like she's gonna like she's gonna bat you, or she'll run away. So, but she's a good dog.
They're good cat.
She's good because like she did bring that dead bird in the house one day. That kind of
didn't she?
Huh?
She brought it in the house?
She brought it in the house in the laundry room, and she's like sitting there in front of it. But when I started coming towards her, she grabbed it and ran out the back door. And I was like, thank God she took it with her.
You're like, no thanks, I don't need that in here.
She'll leave dead animals laying in front of the
back door.
Glass door outside.
That means they think you're not eating right. Did you know that?
Karen. She knows that.
How's your fence project going, by the way?
No, it's good. I haven't gotten much farther because I just haven't had the time. But
yeah,
I mean, now we took the pool down today and like got I put it over some stuff and scrubbed it all off, so it's all cleaned up. So tomorrow it's dry. I'm going to roll it up and put it away. So then I really don't have anything else I need to do other than like put little things away which I can do between the fence. So I may get what I want done, and then next year all I have is 3 sections I have to do, and I'll be done. So
oh, cool.
That'll make me happy if that gets finished next year.
Yeah, I was going to say it's taken a while, but it sounds like it'll be very permanent.
It would have
nice
been done this year except for the fact that it was like 100 degrees, either 100 degrees or raining,
right?
All summer long. It was like one or the other. Sometimes both.
Not good times to be outside working on that thing.
Yeah, well, not only that, you really don't want to use that glue, the glue for the PVC.
Okay.
Out, because not that it won't work, but even the can,
the fumes might kill you. Yeah,
leaving the can open, it's going to dry out fast.
Right.
So,
and then when it's raining, it probably doesn't stick as well.
Well, yeah,
with all the moisture, right?
You can't really use it while it's raining, and I'm not going to be out there in the rain. So, but I mean, I still have. I mean, judging from the next like 2 weeks forecast, it looks like I'm going to have time to finish it. So
that's cool.
That's good.
All I have is one, like each section has 2. I mean, each in between each fence post has 2 sections. I have one section in. I just have to fill in around it because I have to make them short and then fill in around them. Like I build them in a flat table, and then I take it and I put it in and I screw it into the one side, and then I fill in the remainder because there's no way you're going to get it exactly the right size, sitting on a flat table. Anyway, I got a little bit that'll take one thing to get that done, and then I have another full section, and then the gate, and then that's all I need to get done. The gate will take half a day. So
cool.
And I have enough PVC to do both sections. Like most of it's cut already, so should be good.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'll be happy if it's done this year. I mean, as long as it's done next summer, I'll be good. So,
yeah.
I mean, because it's definitely a sturdy fence.
So. Yeah, it sounds great. I love the concept. I would love to touch it to feel exactly how it feels. Like I have a vague idea, but it's something I would love to feel because it just seems like it'd be a really neat tactile thing.
Yeah, it is kind of neat. It looks neat because it just looks like a whole wall of bubbles. You know what I mean? And they're different sizes. There's 4 different size tubes. So it looks kind of neat. So.
Yeah. Neat idea. So cool. How's your what do you call it? The bamboo doing? Oh. It what?
It's fine.
It's fine.
Jim's not there. I thought I was waiting for him to answer.
Oh.
I don't care for it, but I mean it's there. So.
Oh, okay.
It does give a nice, like it kind of, the people coming up the road can't really see into the backyard, so that's nice, you know.
Mm-hmm. But you're not crazy about it?
No, not really.
But maybe it'll die. I don't know.
No,
I had lucky
could've-
bamboo that I killed, and I didn't think you could kill that stuff. So
here I have I'm gonna hold on.
I'm back.
hello.
Okay.
Gavin and I were discussing bamboo in the backyard. So.
Oh my god, I love that dick. I really has the bamboo coming.
It does give nice cover to the yard, you know.
If we didn't live under all the trees, I would definitely say put more bamboo up, because it does build a.
I put a picture in the chat room.
It's a nice like visual barrier.
Yeah, it keeps the house cool too. You know what I mean? From the sun.
Mm-hmm. How tall is it?
About 17 foot.
Oh my gosh! Wow, that's really tall.
How tall is it? Yeah, it's tall. It's up there.
Wow. Okay, I can see why that'd, provide a good sun barricade and everything. So
yeah. Right. Oh my god.
Oh my god. I was just looking at pictures of our what were they, egg rolls with chicken and
Post picture.
Oh, I just turned it off. So
all right.
You know what I mean? When you made the chicken soup with the egg rolls.
Oh yeah.
They're delicious.
Yeah, that you don't want that tomorrow, do you?
Mm-mm. You got all that pulled chicken you made.
Yeah, I just had some chicken and the coleslaw. There's something about the coleslaw. I mean, like I'm looking for a certain flavor, but it's good the way it is, you know?
Wonderful.
Good.
I think it was because the last batch you made with a different apple cider vinegar, so it was a little more overwhelming, maybe.
Could be.
Yeah.
Well, I got an air fryer yesterday.
Oh, how do you like
and
that?
I love a good kitchen gadget, and I am loving it. I made homemade shoestring French fries.
Oh yeah.
And I made fried pickles.
Oh wow.
Both today.
How does that work? Explain it.
The air fryer is like a simple convection oven. So it's a heating coil with a fan above it.
Uh-huh.
And it just blows the hot air, like moves the air around the basket. So it's like a fryer basket.
Okay.
But it's not in oil. It's just, got a fan blowing hot air over it. And stuff gets crispy. So like I overdid the French fries. I took a recipe that I got off of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing it may have been for French fries that were cut a lot thicker. But I have a why can I never remember the name of this thing? What's that?
A mandolin?
Yes, I have a mandolin, and it's got the little French fry blade that like sticks up, and it'll cut shoestring style potatoes. And so I put those in cold water for half an hour, and then you dry them off, and then I coated them in oil and seasoned salt and pepper and garlic powder to season them, and a little olive oil, or I think they said that. But anyway, then you put them in the air fryer and cook them at a lower temperature for like 15 minutes to kind of cook them, and then let them cool for 15 minutes, and then you crisp them. by cooking them at a much higher temperature.
Uh-huh.
And the recipe that I found on YouTube, I think they had cut them into much bigger chunks. Like, I don't know if they're going for standard French fry shape or even steak fry shape, but mine came out almost like vegetable straws. So they were almost
neat,
dried out like all the way through. And we ate them all. We loved them, but we expected more French fries. So more of a chewy inside, or softer inside and crispy outside, but they got mostly crisp all the way through.
Maybe you have to do it at a higher temperature for a shorter amount of time.
Yeah. It was at the highest temperature, but it just needs to be for less time. And I think it'll work really well. So next time I do it, I'll try it for less time. And then the deep fried pickles turned out amazing because we finished eating them and Martin said, we need more of those like right now. I'm like, babe, I just spent a long time like putting these all together.
Well,
like,
that's the thing.
Do not want to do this again.
That's the thing about making some stuff homemade. It takes you such a long amount of time to make it.
It took me a long time because the French fries, like I had to cut them and then they had to sit for half an hour in ice water.
Right.
And then I cooked them for 15 minutes in the air fryer. Then they had to sit for 15 minutes.
Right.
And then it called for cooking them for 15 minutes more. And I only cooked them for 11 more and they were too crispy. So I think we're talking probably maybe 6 to 8 minutes more. Right. But it still start to finish, that was, approaching an hour and a half time.
That is one of the secrets to a good French fry, especially when you're using a raw potato. They're cooked twice.
Yeah. You cook them the first time to cook them.
Right.
And so they're not raw. And then the second time is to crisp them if you want them crispy. And I tend to like mine crispy. So
I love it. I love a crispy potato.
Jim, have you ever had deep fried pickles?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they're so good.
They are. Veritable Virgo and I had them at one of the hotels. I can't remember what hotel it was. He probably remembers. When we went to Las Vegas. Oh, my God. They were so good.
Did you have spears or chips?
Chips.
Okay. Because they do spears kind of like deep fried zucchini, which are good. But I did chips because I buy whole pickles in this, huge jar at Costco.
Oh.
And then I just use the food processor to slice them. And so then I have pickled chips. And so I used the pickle chips that I had. But it takes a lot of time to prep them because I dip them in seasoned flour. So I took flour and taco seasoning and pepper, and some garlic powder.
Did you dry them?
No, because I'm dropping them into the flour and then I put them in an egg wash that has eggs, mayonnaise, milk, and heavy whipping cream.
Oh my God.
In it. Yeah. After in the seasoned flour, and then you dip them in breadcrumbs. And I added more black pepper and a few red chili pepper flakes.
Oh my God.
No.
To make them to make the deep fried pickles a little spicy. So
I saw the picture of Merlin. He's adorable.
They sound good, Jay.
Yeah, they were amazing. And I want to make them again. It's just I don't want to end up spending all day making these kind of things. It's something that I can see we're going to really enjoy. There was a lot of other recipes for other things that I'm interested in trying, but all of it looks like it's they promote it as a way to eat healthier options, but it's one of those things that, is it really healthier? Because a lot of the stuff you're putting in there, by the time you like bread it or whatever, it's not necessarily healthier, but it's certainly a lot healthiher than the alternative of deep frying.
Part of the recipe called for oil. It's like, so really, are you like,
Yeah,
you might spritz it with oil rather than deep frying it in oil. So it's like Martin and I were both full after we ate the fries and the fried pickles, but we didn't have that greasy like feeling you get in your gut after you eat a bunch of fried food.
Yeah.
So that was good because I feel like if we're going to eat that kind of food, it's a lot healthier. But I think you also need to be careful that if you eat a bunch of stuff out of here, it might be healthier than the deep fried alternatives.
Right.
But you don't eat those kind of foods very often. So
Yeah.
if you eat a bunch of this food more often, then you're not necessarily being healthy.
Right.
And healthier than a hot dog cart in New York.
Yeah, I think that's.
I don't know. Martin loved the hot dogs, and everybody there was like, "We love the hot dogs," because the Uber driver we asked about it, he's like, "Oh yeah, it's the water," and we were like, "Do you guys eat them? Because you know the secret?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, we eat them. We love them."
Well, you know
he's
what?
like, even though we know that.
I kind of think if you're driving a cab in New York, you kind of don't have a whole lot of options as far as like where you're going to eat. So
well, and you know what? The little hot dog place. So we got a hot dog, a soft pretzel, and 2 20-ounce sodas in a bottle.
Right.
And it was $10.
wow.
That's ridiculously cheap.
Yeah.
For food that was pretty filling. Like it was one of those big soft pretzels, and the guy put mustard all over it and salt, and it was amazing.
Have you had Philadelphia soft pretzels? Were they the same?
They're not. Philadelphia doesn't take as much care. I mean, we eat the pretzels constantly in Philadelphia, but we don't get them. We don't get the same quality pretzel as in New York, because New York, it's like, they're usually baking them right on a pan of salt. You know what I mean? You get a hot pretzel.
Oh, okay.
I've heard tell that like people that live in New York or have had both still say that Philadelphia pretzels are 100% better.
Our pretzels are good when they're hot, but a lot of times, you can't. The pretzels, by the time we get them on a cart, they're like, they're cold. They're low.
I think these were pretty fresh, and they weren't greasy. They were like freshly baked and delicious, and had just the mustard and the salt sticking to them was more because they were warm and had been added right when they were fresh and hot.
Right.
Not because they were greasy in any way. So, because the pretzel itself, I don't know that it would have been as good if it would have been not hot, but when I got it, it was pretty hot to the touch, and it was amazing. I mean, the flavor of it was great.
Yeah, where I work, like I'm kind of spoiled because where I work, like once a month, once every other month, depends on what's going on. Like they'll go to the place, it's not far from us.
The bakery
where it is. It used to be in the Penn Soccer Mart, and get them like straight out of the oven, where like they bring them in a box and put them down, and you reach in and they're still hot.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that's when they're the best. It's that doughy, like inside texture that's soft and chewy, but the outside has a little bit of crunch. Is a strong word because they're not. But it's like the texture is harder, so it's like a nice little
It's not hard as a bagel.
The
bite.
The best part of it is that big knot in the middle.
Yeah, and all the salt on it.
Oh yeah.
I'm a fan of the salt, so
yeah, I save that not for last. I always eat around it.
I will say this, Jay. When you were talking about your your air fryer, Bill in Florida said, you could make us all some fried pickles. Jay can make.
That's something I don't think that would probably like. You have to eat them right away. I can't imagine you could.
The fried pickles would be okay for a little while, but if they started, I think with any deep fried food, if it cools down too much, it'll start to go soggy.
Yeah,
like they all start to turn because we ate the fried pickles and they were crunchy, and then the pickle inside was still juicy.
Yeah,
and there's something really delicious about like getting the crunch on the outside and then having the inside be fresh, like juicy pickle. Like if you like pickles, some people don't, and I understand, but it's the contrast.
The whole salty. I don't know that combination of the two.
Right.
what you might want to try doing is rather than a regular flour, if you can find a rice flour when you're dredging, or put a little cornmeal in with the cornmeal and breadcrumbs on the outside.
Yeah, well, I did the flour and then the egg wash with the milk and heavy cream and mayonnaise, and then breadcrumbs. So I had both.
Oh,
Try cornmeal with your breadcrumbs because it may give you a harder,
a little more crunch,
a little bit more crunch, and it might stay crunchy longer.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because I think if they sat,
they're going to be like mushy, like
right. If they sat for very long, the pickle juice from inside would soak through the crispy breading, and I'm guessing would turn it soft. And that's what makes most fried foods like no good.
Yeah.
If you bring them home, is they go limp and yucky, and it's hard to revive them. Like you can't do it in a microwave and an oven sometimes, depending on if they've got a thick coating or crust on them, you might be able to get them a little better, but fried foods just don't they live well after they're done.
It's hard to save a French fry.
Onion rings are wonderful when they're soggy and mushy. And
oh, really? Okay,
well,
I haven't ever tried one that way.
The real onion rings with like an actual piece of onion, not the chopped shit that you get at some places, like the ones with an actual onion ring in the middle. You know what I mean? I love them.
I want to try onion rings, but I would probably do a batter for them rather than the flour, egg wash, breadcrumb. I'd probably do a batter.
Yeah.
My grandmother used to do onion rings. She would soak them in milk. Okay.
Oh, Variable Virgo said, "Now, Gavin, if you have a dream tonight about deep throating pickles." I forgot that was part of the dream. The guy that I knew for 25 years ago. The reason I know him is because he has one of those dicks that are like it's real long, but it's not thick. And I just remember in the dream he kept like. It was like it was growing in my throat. I was just like, because I kept having to like move farther and farther in. Anyway, forgot about that part.
I dated a guy a while back that had this really long dick, but it wasn't very thick, and it was interesting because it was like, damn, that's a long dick, and then it was like, but it's not very thick. Like that's interesting because
throat though, you know
what's that?
They're the best to deep throat.
Yeah. No, it was great. I could swallow it all. And I wasn't, I'm not particularly talented, although I've gotten much more so because my husband is, he's got a lot of girth. So, and he's got length to back it up. So, it's much more challenging.
We won't tell you told us that.
So, but, I'm not particularly big, so, I'm always impressed with guys that have both.
We'll keep that just between you, me, and
everybody who downloads it.
9 people that download.
I don't care. I've been at the Parliament, and people have seen me with my pants down and seen me with a hard on. And
I was talking about his dick.
Oh, well, my husband's is glorious. Like most people would be really impressed, I think. So
we've all seen you naked. So.
Yeah, exactly. Not that big of a deal. But anyway, you got to work with what you got, though. And mine works. So, hey, that's always good, right?
I got nothing to brag about, but I do fine.
Right, exactly. and like you said, if you still wake up, I woke up this morning with a hard on, and it's like, oh, it's a good morning.
Yeah, I'm 58 years old, and I still get a boner. So
yeah, hey,
boners without pills.
That's always a nice thing.
Exactly.
All right, I think I'm going to call it a night, guys.
What was that? What was that?
On that note, Jim's out.
What was that,
Jim? What was that show title that he said to use? I'll have to make.
I don't remember.
Fucking something. I'll have to listen. It's near the beginning. But anybody remember what he said?
Fucking a pickle?
Oh no. It was back at the beginning, but I don't remember.
I'll
fucking listen. Something with a hoagie.
Oh.
Was that I was fucked with a hoagie or something?
Yeah.
Or I got fucked with a hoagie. I don't remember.
It was the size of a hoagie.
Yeah.
You stole all my pens, Jim. All right. Well,
It'll be the title will be a misquote from from the show.
Misquoted show. Gavin,
Right.
Jim Togie and Gavin's Pigment.
all right.
Fun. All right. Well, you guys have a good evening.
All right.
Have a good time, Jay.
All right. Catch you guys later.
Good night, guys. See you next
Good night.
Everybody
next week. So.
Everybody in the chat room, thank you for posting great porn.
Good night, chat room.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Bill.
Good night.